Okay, folks, I don't know if you can see it, but I got my crank number 4 crank journal is dry of any oil, and you can see I got a little strip of plastic gauge there. And I got the new bearing shell in the bottom. I was able to slip it in. And there's the new upper shell installed. So we're going to set that down on there, like so. And I don't have 3 hands, so I'm going to turn you loose while I tap this down and put the bolts in. Okay, folks, it's torqued down. I did it in stages. The book calls for 85 pounds-feet. I did 45, then I came back and did 85, and double checked it. So we're going to take it back apart now and check the plastic gauge will spread wide, open wide. It'll flatten out, in other words. And then you use the scale here to determine if you're within range. Pretty simple system. Okay, guys, here's the plastic gauge inside the cap. Looks to be about the same as the last one. And on the crankshaft itself, looks to be the same. I'm going to get the plastic gauge out, just double check it, but it looks good. Okay, and the final piece of plastic gauge is installed. So I've checked it in 3 spots around the crank. And there's a tiny film of oil on this crank now. It wasn't before, so I've rotated it around and I've wiped it the best I could, but I don't want to get into scratching it. See, there's a scratch right here. So I don't know if you guys can see that. See that? So I gotta be careful here. So I'm not gonna wipe it anymore. So we've got to keep that in mind when we get this next spec. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. There it is. I think we're good to go, folks. I'm gonna button it up. Okay, I got the lower bearing shell on the number 7 rod in place, and I got the plastic gauge, as you can see right there, the little green strip, and we'll torque the cap down and get a reading. Be right back with you. Okay, folks, here's the it's upside down, but this is the gauge here, the inches, and let me see if I can get you set up here. Give me just a second here. Got the rod bolt in the way. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like we're right there at about the 2/1000ths. Maybe a smidge more. Probably a little bit on the loose end. And let's check the cap here. I think the cap looks a little bit better. Had that right anyway, didn't I? Let's see what we got here. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. Let me try again. Doesn't want to bend right there in the center. This is the millimeter side. Let me get back over on this side. No wonder I couldn't get it right. I'm sitting there looking at it thinking, what in the world? Not even close. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there we go. I think we're good. It's gonna be it's a little loose, but that's okay. We didn't turn the crank. All right, let me get back to buttoning it up. I'm gonna check the other rod just to make sure. I couldn't remember which one had the bad bearing. That one looked, yeah, it wasn't bad, but had little scratches on it. I'm gonna check number 8. Okay, folks, I got the rear main seal in. There's the old one right there. And I just got to get this tightened down. And then the next thing we'll do is put in the oil pump pickup and then the oil pump. And we're ready to button her up. So there you have it. These little end seals right here were a booger bear. Let me tell you something. It feels a little bit high, but I think it's going to be okay. I got it silicone up pretty good. All right, folks, let me get on some more. Okay, folks, I checked the, I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see if we can get you in there. Let's see a little bit. Took the timing cover off. And you can see the little dot right there. I'm about right here. And this dot doesn't line up nowhere near it, so I'm thinking the cam's been advanced because this motor ran great. I think they on a Mopar you can advance them on the cam. They got little eccentrics that you put in, and it looks to me like that one's so you can advance it up here, the little keyways. One says A and one says R on these little keyway holes. I don't know if you guys can see that. See the two little up at the top. Let me get this light down, get me to see a little bit better. Right here and right there. One's A, one's R. Advanced retard. But on a Mopar, you can buy these little bushings that go on the cam eccentric, and they're color coded. And depending on how much advance you want, it looks like that's what they've done. They've got this thing way over here. It should be lined up dot to dot. That's where my 400 is dot to dot. So I have to check into that there. I don't see why they would have retarded it. Most people advance them, but anyway, I got the new timing cover cleaned up, and I've got the gasket seating up here on the sealer, and we're getting ready to put it on here in just a second. Button her up. Okay, folks, so we got the bearings back in, and did check that timing chain as you saw, and I got the timing cover cleaned up and put back on. The only thing left to do is the oil pump strainer right here. This piece right here needs to go in, and the oil pump itself, and then clean the block and paint it. I'm not really digging the valve covers. I've had some time to think about it. I'm probably going to come up with something else, so I may just mask those off the best I can. Mask the plugs. I'm going to mask the freeze plugs, and spray her down. I'll give her a good wipe down with some lacquer thinner or something, alcohol or something. And I got a little bit of a dent right here in the pan. I may try to gently knock that out without cracking the pan. I may leave it alone too. But I'm going to paint the engine back orange. I've already bought the paint. Right here it is. And this Chrysler Hemi orange there is my oil pump. So we'll get the strainer in tomorrow, get the pump on tomorrow, clean the block, and maybe paint it. If it's warm enough, we can paint it tomorrow. Then I've got this little deal here. This is I think this is an SFI Harmonic Balancer. If not, it is. It says right there, SFI. So, it's probably out of date. Not real crazy about the numbers here being worn down like they are. Not sure what happened there, but I'm going to try to mask this off, clean it, and paint it the best I can. And I don't know what I'm going to do about those numbers. I may check with this company to see if they've got a tape that can be attached. I don't know. We'll worry about that later. All right, I'm going to put up some tools and go inside and make some supper. This will be this video. I'm going to end this video here. Tomorrow we'll do the rest of it with the cleaning and the painting.